There's illegals in the house. If you see them, point them out. There's illegals on the job. If you see them, point them out. There's illegals in the store. If you see them, point them out. There's illegal at the pump. If you see them, point them out. Well, if this was not their plan, I don't know what else was. Because you see, America, things are starting to line up just the way the plan was already orchestrated. We're just seeing it come to fruition today. We're seeing it come to light right now. A massive import of illegals has flooded the country. We're seeing it at the border, Texas. We're seeing it in New York City, Chicago. We're seeing it all over Black and brown communities, as they like to say. This is where they're setting them up for camp. But there's also other places. It's not just in the cities and Black and brown communities. This, my friends, is taking place in Middle America, rural America. It's taking place all over the country. And so Tyson Foods is definitely a partner with the party, big companies, with the government to bring in more and more and more cheap labor. That's what these people are. They are cheap labor. In this scenario, the government wins, or we should say the Democrat Party wins, because these are votes. Big companies win because they get cheap labor and they keep their bottom line. Out of these two, winners. But who do you think is the loser? Is it we, the people? Are we, the people, the loser when it comes to this? Democrats win more votes. Big company gets free, cheap labor. And the American people, they're out. You know, I find it so interesting. Joe Biden is always coming out here to say how they're for the little guy, how they're trying to make the 1% pay their fair share in taxes. They're trying to make them pay their fair share in taxes because they are all for the little guy. They're for we the people. Joe Biden and crew, they're for we the people. As it always says, actions do speak louder than words. Actions, Joe Biden, speaks louder than words. And the word that we, the people, are hearing right now is that you have brought the hammer to crush Americans. And this is what's happening, friends. We're going to get into it right now. Hello, friends, and welcome to The Conservative Poet. I am Amania, and I want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers. We got a whole lot of people that hit that subscribe button, and I want to say thank you for doing that, because I will surely work hard to entertain you, to bring you information, and just to be the fighter out here in the streets for you. So thank you for subscribing. God bless you and God keep you.
And laying off 1,200 workers after closing its pork factory in Perry, Iowa, only later to announce 52,000 jobs for migrants.
The company's excuse: migrants are getting the jobs that Americans don't want. A human resources executive for the company telling Bloomberg the migrants have been, quote, very loyal. They've been uprooted, and what they want is stability. What they want is a sense of belonging.
Let's bring in Fox and Friends Weekend co-host Pete Hegseth. Pete, good to see you.
Yes.
But again, lower wages, taking American jobs. This was the reason why Democrats were opposed to illegal immigration 10, 15, 25 years ago. But here it plays out. This costs Americans a livelihood.
That's true. It was also the reason why the Chamber of Commerce crowd of the Republican Party was so resistant to Donald Trump back in 2015, 2016, dependent on importing cheap labor. He said, we're going to build that wall. We're going to stop this. I'm going to put Americans first. Wages will rise as a result. And now you've got an inversion of that with the Democrat Party saying, come on in. And then we've heard glimpses of it, right? When Nancy Pelosi said, who else is going to pick our crops, right? I mean, that's their mindset. And the businesses are happy to do it when there's no e-verifier, there's no consequences. And so cheaper labor for this business to produce a product. And it's not an easy job. You know, people that do those jobs, they're dirty, they're tough, but Americans should have the first shot, and they should have a good shot at a good wage.
And it's so dismissive. The language that they use, that Americans don't want these jobs. Really?
Americans had these jobs,
right?
And they lost them.
Correct.
Exactly.
And if you thought about paying, if Americans are doing the jobs, they're going to raise the wages for the jobs too. That's all good for everybody.
Seen that, heard that, good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There you actually have it. Americans being replaced, literally. Like on this channel, I talk about this a lot. Oh, I talk about it a lot. But to see it fully coming to fruition, Eric Adams, the governor of New York City, Hochul, I just made a video about her. I actually haven't even posted it, and I had to get on this one. In her interview, she's pleading with the Biden administration to give them the work visas already. Put them to work already. Her mayor, Eric Adams, we need the work visas. We need to put them to work. They need to work. And everybody's saying, put the illegals to work. Get the process going. Get the process going. We've got 10 million of them that just walked through the country. Give them visas. Give it to them. Give them the work permits. So with that, we give them the work permits. That means they're going to be going to work. So where is this work coming from? Oh, they just told us, right? They're going to fire Americans, mostly, and then they're going to put illegals in. That's where the jobs are coming from. Joe Biden keeps talking about how he's done great things with jobs. But I don't believe it's jobs for Americans, because this is what they've been working towards for some time now. And it's finally coming to fruition. Between now and Election Day, do you think that these people could probably vote? Between now and November, do you think that these people could be processed like this and become voters in November? We're going to take another look. Hello, fellow patriots. Thank you so much for your support. And again, you can do so by purchasing products from the Orlando Patriots, mugs, t-shirts, all of your patriotic gear. We are in an election year, so we need to show the world that we support our candidates, especially President Trump. So get some gear at theorlandopatriot.com and you'll get 30% off. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me. I'll see you there. Most of the people that live there works there. Some of the people outside of the area close by also works there. So it is a thriving hub for the community. This is where they work. Money comes from there. The way they pay for their food, the way they pay for their housing, the way they pay for their clothes, the way they feed their babies, the way it is their livelihood. I remember growing up when my family worked for the factories in New Jersey. One day they received letters from the company that that the company would be closing. They would be closing their plants, but they would be packing up and they would be moving to China. And so the factories closed and the family had to find another way to make a living, to take care of us. But in today's society, in what we're talking about today, the plant isn't packing up and moving to China. No, it's going to stay here in Perry, in Iowa, in America. It's going to stay here. But the people who work there, they will be replaced. They are being fired. They are being replaced. 1,300 workers are being put out. And during my research, I realized that some of these workers, we would assume that these are American jobs, American workers that's currently losing their job, the 1,300. But with my research, I'm finding that it seems to be more of migrants who has been in these jobs at this time. Now, many of them might be Americans, yes. Plenty would be, yes. But there is a majority of them that is also migrant and illegal in that sense. We're going to take a news clipping that's going to talk about that these people are part of this plant. They work in this plant, but yet they don't have documents. They don't have the proper IDs. They are illegal indeed. And we're going to look at another one with another woman, might be illegal, I don't know, but speaks not one lick of English. And they've been here for some time. And so when we're looking at this, it's not just Americans that's lost their jobs or has been in this plant. This plant has had migrants and illegals as well. Now, my thought is these 1,300 that's losing their job, they're going to be bringing in 5,200 illegals to come here and take over these jobs. And again, the basis of all of this is what? Cheap labor. They want cheap labor. Companies like Tyson, big mega companies like that, they love the open borders. They love all of this because why? They have cheap labor where their bottom line is what they're looking at. So with the 1,300 being, some of them are American, and some of these illegals that's already currently there, these illegals that's currently working with them, they probably have to pay a good wage to, similar to what they're paying the Americans. And so if they got rid of those illegals, because those illegals are now Americanized per se, and those illegals are being paid top dollar. So guess what? They're going to get rid of all of them. And they're going to bring in fresh blood where they won't have to pay them as much as they were paying those illegals who's now become uppity or Americanized, if you're following while I'm laying down. So they've cut those jobs and now they're bringing in fresh, new, cheaper labor to replace these people who's already been settled in their positions. And, we're going to look at one news clipping and in reference to all of this. So without further ado, let's get into it right now.
KCCI's Pepper Papura spoke with a family that says they need the government to take action or else they may lose their home.
The Fidel family came to Iowa in 2019 as refugees. Their home in the Democratic Republic of Congo was overrun by a war. But 5 years later, they've lived out the American dream, finding work at the Tyson pork plant, buying a home in Urbandale. But on Monday, all of that came crashing down.
Now I'm going to stop here. So these people came here illegally. I don't care how they lay it out. I don't care how they put it. These people came here illegally. They came here in 2019, and 2019, these people already have bought a house. Okay? 2019, they found work and they already bought a house. Where Americans here, the dream of home ownership is so far out. 20 years, 20, 30, 15 years, they still can't buy a house. But these folks came in only 5 years, they were able to attain that American dream.
Weye ukasikia unachoka, njoo utafanya nini? Njoo utaenda Ikara.
When they got the news, everybody was crying. What are we going to do? How are we going to be able to pay our mortgage?
The Fidel family living in a state of panic. Ever since finding out on Monday, Misago Fidel would be one of almost 1,300 people losing his job at the Tyson pork plant in Perry come June.
We don't know what happened.
Job fairs in Perry are underway, and Tyson Foods is encouraging people to apply for other open roles at the company. But it's not that easy for Fidel.
Everywhere we go to ask them for green card before they can even apply.
Fidel says, like many other refugees.
So he's been working here 5 years. He's been the main one bringing in income to take care of the family, but yet he doesn't even have a green card. He doesn't have the right to even work. Okay? He does not have that right. But for 5 years, they worked and purchased a home, and has been maintaining. And now they're saying they want the government to act. Well, this is the same government that they want not to act to keep the borders wide open so more and more can continue to come. But these illegals are facing the problem that everybody can't come because right now, because more illegals have come, this illegal, you're going to lose your job and your position because more illegals is coming to replace you, the illegal. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Refugees, his caseworker got him the job at Tyson. Hiring him was legal since Fidel is a refugee and was new to the country at the time. He's since applied for a green card, but a backlog of applications since COVID is causing a delay.
They've been almost for 5 years here and they still don't have green cards yet.
Data from the federal government shows about 4.5 million cases in the backlog as of August. The U.S. says the backlog was reduced last year, but the Fidels are
News
still
which caught employees by surprise that Tyson Foods would permanently close their pork plant at the end of June after being a mainstay in the community since 2001. Many employees rely heavily on their jobs financially, including this employee I spoke with who moved from El Salvador decades ago to work at this plant and asked us to remain anonymous.
Tenemos nuestros pagos, yo y mi esposo, pagamos casa, los biles. Yo me deportaron un hijo, ayudo a mi hijo, ayudo a mis padres, a mi mamá.
A city they have grown to believe is right for them.
Aquí cerca para llegar a la casa, no tener peligro. Viene la nieve, uno anda peligrando. Sí, ¿verdad? Un trabajo cercano y que ganemos, pues siquiera para pagar los biles, para pagar la casa, para ayudar a nuestra familia. Es lo único que queremos.
So you've seen two different families and neither one of them can speak any English. And I'm going to assume that these people, we already know that the Congo family or the people from the Congo, looking for, what did they call it? Refugee. However you look at it, whichever way you put it, twist it, turn it, it's the same thing. It is illegal migration. It is plain and simple. Illegals. And so these people are and they've moved here, bought a house, raised a family, 5 years. They've got the American dream on lock. And now they're calling for the government to come in and save them because Tyson is closing up their shop. And now they're not going to know what to do. Well, you know what's going to happen? Joe Biden and crew will have to just take care of them. They'll be going on food stamps and whatever else to bridge the gap until they can find another job. Because again, Tyson is bringing in fresh illegals to replace them. You saw the second person, both of them work in the same plant. Again, nobody can speak a lick of English. And this is what she's facing. Again, she also has a house. She's worried about her husband, her kids, her family, her house. She can't pay her bills and so on. How's she going to pay her bills? And so these are the things that they're looking at. And so I wanted to just show that image of, non-Americans, because I don't believe that they are, unless they've gotten they fast paperwork and they got those green cards like that. But that guy is still waiting. So, and now I'm going to show you an American couple, and how they're dealing with this.
Employees. KCCI's Ophelia Jacobson is in Perry to tell us this decision is hitting home for many families.
It is the letter showing that Tyson will be shut down.
DeMarco Tolson is one of hundreds of employees who received the devastating news Monday. He says he was completely blindsided.
They just laid that on us like now, and there was no heads up earlier in the day.
Danielle Peterson says she was in shock when Tolson told her. She and their 2 sons rely on his job as their sole source of income.
I don't know how we're going to be able to take care of our bills now and food and stuff like that. Definitely scared.
They had also just moved to be closer to the plant 1 month ago. Tolson makes the drive in every single day from Yale to work at this plant, and he's not alone. The city tells me of the 1,300 employees that will be affected by this closing, half live outside of town and the other half live right here.
Seen that? Heard that? Good. Well, so there you have it. I've shown you 3 different families. One of them an American family. Another one we know for sure is an illegal family. And then the other one, she might just be an illegal. Who knows? But this is what these people are facing. Again, they are literally, this is the face of replacement, right? These are the people that's being replaced from this job from Tyson. And they are going to have to figure it out. They said it in the video. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know how they're going to pay for their mortgage. They don't know how they're going to feed their kids. They don't know how they're going to do anything, pay their bills. They don't know because Tyson is packing up and leaving. Well, now it's not actually packing up and leaving. It's going to stay there, but it's going to bring in illegals to replace these people. And so comes to mind is, are they going to be building homes for these people, the illegals, to come and live there? Or are they going to be taking those people's houses too? I mean, it is a fair thing to say, because obviously these people may have to leave the town and go find livelihood somewhere else. So yeah, so when they're bringing all of these additional illegals 2 or 3 times more, then yeah, those vacant properties, yeah, you bet your ass it's going to probably be illegals moving in. So this is what we're facing. It is the ultimate replacement. And this is not the hierarchy that's being replaced. It is the lower class. It is the black and brown community that's suffering. You saw that last couple, the black and brown community. You saw that. That's who's being replaced. The American part of it anyway. So I'm going to put it there. That's going to be it for this video. Lots in here. This was a tough video to make, really, honestly, but I'm glad it's done. Thank you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. Please talk to me in the comments about what we're talking about Tyson. Tell me what you think about Tyson. Do you live in these areas? Are you affected by this? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing these things? Little by little by little, we are being replaced. Americans are being replaced. And it's for one thing and one thing only. Democrats to have power and votes. Companies to have cheap labor and their bottom line. Again, all about them, not about we, the people at the bottom. I'm going to leave it there. God bless you. God keep you. And I'm going to grab my hammer. It's not an actual hammer. I'm going to have to buy me a real hammer, y'all. I'm going to go buy me one. But in the meantime, this works. Sick and tired of them giving us the hammer. Sick and tired of it. Amania's out. God bless you and keep you.